Ask yourself this: how much time have you spent studying? All those hours with textbooks, pulling all-nighters, how many sacrifices have you made just to study? Now look at the Ivy League students. They are academic weapons with full separate lives outside of school. They have learned awesome skills and achieved massive feats that only you could dream of. So school just feels like a little side quest for them. How? While you're struggling just to get an average grade, they ace exams effortlessly. So in this video, I'll be sharing 7 things that you can start doing to make school feel more like a side quest. There is a massive difference between hearing and listening. While most people are busy hearing and summarizing what the teacher is saying, you should be listening. There is logic and pattern in everything, and there's a reason why that information was discovered in the first place, and your job is to find that out. So stop treating what you hear as just random information. Once you deeply understand what you're hearing and how it fits into the bigger picture, then everything will just make sense. You will already be able to cut down the majority of your time you'll have to spend reviewing. The type of content you consume has a massive effect on your grades. It is what defines who you are. So do yourself a favor and stop watching shorts. You will gain back your attention span, which will help you to listen more in class, and your brain will dramatically improve in so many more ways. Instead, start watching long-form entertainment videos mixed with just the right amount of education. This trains you to become more curious, and it also trains you to listen and try to understand the big picture without frantically taking down notes. Instead of endlessly doing practice questions and past papers, you should start prioritizing. List down your weakest chapters and act on them. How do you find your weakest chapters? Reflection. After you've done a past paper, spend lots of time checking and reflecting on your answers using prompts like this. Then you list down a few of your weakest topics and you make them your strongest ones. And how do you do this? You can do this by focusing on specific topic questions or by looking at how others have approached the same problem. If you want to strengthen your weak topics even more, then walk through the mistakes that you've made at random times of the day. And before you start doing a new past paper, make sure you look at your previous wrong answers to prime yourself. Your work expands to fill the time that you have. So if you want to have a separate life outside of school, then set tighter deadlines for school stuff. Instead of giving yourself weeks to learn a topic, make it hours. Instead of giving yourself hours to finish your homework, make it minutes. Your ultimate goal should be to set deadlines so that school stuff takes no more than 30% of your time. So make sure your objective is very clear before you start studying, set a tight deadline and go for it. So instead of just making bullet points and having a wall of text in front of you, your notes should look more like a big diagram. You should be making connections between different topics because that is what allows you to remember. When you have the big picture in front of you, you will have a much deeper understanding of the topic. Plus, before you even write anything down, you'll have to think hard about how it relates to other topics and where it fits into this big diagram. You to process and absorb what you hear before even writing it down. And remember, in nonlinear note-taking, your main goal is not to take down notes. It is to truly listen and process what you're hearing. And if it is really necessary, then you write it down into your big diagram. Doing one challenging question is always worth more than doing 100 easy questions. So do whatever you can to stick with the tough question. Learn to enjoy the struggle because that is where you learn the most. Think of a topic that you just learned last year. It probably seems very easy to you now, but I can guarantee you that back then, it seems a lot more confusing. This exact same thing applies to the topic that you're struggling with right now. The topic that you think is very tough will become easy. So it is definitely possible for you to master it. There's just one little thing that you're missing. And once you find and understand that thing, everything will become much easier for you. So keep pushing on. At random times of the day, think of a vocab that you have learned recently. Ask yourself, what is that one weird word that my teacher said? If you are able to remember it, then good for you. But if not, you will have this annoying feeling in the back of your head of not being able to remember a word. And this annoying feeling will push you even more to retrieve that information, which is even better. And once you have finally remembered the word, you will automatically start thinking about what it actually means, what process it is involved in. And pretty soon, you'll find yourself walking through what you have learned. This is an awesome way to stay immersed and to beat the forgetting curve so you can remember everything that you learned.